The views and opinions expressed on this program are those of the producers and the individuals appearing on this program and do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of the staff of the Sun Prairie Media Center, its members or underwriters, the board members of the Media Center Commission, Charter Communications, TDS Telecom, or the staff and elected officials of the City of Sun Prairie.
Hello everyone, welcome to Simply Fun Cooking. Yeah. Nolan is very excited today. What are we doing today, bud? Cookies.
Mom, I need all of the cookies.
We are going to make some DIY gifts for the holidays, little do-it-yourself treats that you can give to people. And these are going to be some really great ideas for those, some hard to buy for people.
Cookies.
Oh, I know, he can't wait to show you the cookie cutters. These are great ideas for neighbors and teachers.
Yes,
if you give a gift to like the postman, these are really great little gifts, maybe for some of your coworkers. Nolan was talking about giving some to his friends. So we're going to make a few different treats here today and show you how easy it is to make some great homemade gifts for some people. So I'm going to show you guys a really easy gingerbread recipe. We're actually just starting with a roll of refrigerated sugar cookie dough, okay? And we're going to add to it to make it gingerbread dough. All right, the first thing we're going to add is about 3/4 of a cup of flour.
How can I see what it looks like?
Yep, it's just cookie dough right now. So we're going to add 3/4 of a cup of flour. Now remember, when you're baking, things like flour, you don't want to scoop right out of the bucket. You want to kind of pour it into your measuring cup, and then we want to level it off. Baking is an exact science, and we want things to be just perfect. If you scoop your flour with your measuring cup, you end up getting a little extra flour in there, and it can make your baked goods really dry. Now, when you use things like brown sugar, that's an ingredient that you really want to pack down in your measuring cup, but not flour. All right, so we're going to start mixing this in. All right, after adding the flour, we're going to add a little bit of molasses, about 2 tablespoons worth. We're going to add about 3/4 of a teaspoon of cinnamon. All right, so now we're going to mix all this together. And this is going to be our dough for our gingerbread cookies. All right, so now as you're mixing this cookie dough, it's going to be kind of tough to mix.
Can I help you from that out?
Yep, what we're going to do actually is I'm going to put it on our pastry mat here, and I'm going to let you squish it together with your hands. Sound good?
Yes, and then I can smash.
Yep, in a little bit. All right, so this is going to be a really great project for the kids because they can get their hands dirty. And kids love getting their hands dirty, right, Nolan?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay.
Yeah, and Sandy too.
And Sandy too. All right, so here's what you're going to do. We're not going to pour it out quite yet, but I want you to reach in, and you're just going to kind of squeeze and mix all of our ingredients together. I'm just going to kind of fold it over and squish it like this. We've got to get all that molasses and ginger mixed in nicely. What's really fun about these cookie cutters is that not only are they going to cut out the cookies, but they're going to leave nice little images in there, little faces, little cartoons, and they're going to be really cute.
Can I go in it now?
Not yet. You may remember we did an episode where we made the peanut butter and jelly, and we used the green emoji cookie cutters and made faces in our sandwiches. So these are the same type of cookie cutters, except these are our holiday edition. So all sorts of little winter designs.
Can I smash it?
Not yet. I know, this is the hard part, right? Waiting. All right, so here's our nice gingerbread cookie dough. So what we're going to do is first we're going to roll it out and flatten it out. Now, when you look at your cookie cutters, what's really nice is they're designed to snap together so that they store really nicely. But what's also nice is that this little ridge right here, it actually tells you how thick you want your dough to be. So as you're rolling it out, you can use this to measure, and you want it to be that thick. If it's too thin, then you might not get the whole picture stamped, and if it's too thick, it's just not going to cut all the way through. So that is the thickness that you want. So what we're going to do is we'll get our dough rolled out. I'm going to add just a little bit of flour here, just so that the rolling pin doesn't stick. And you don't want too much, right? Because we don't want to dry out our cookies. We want just enough to help roll it out.
Ow.
All right, so as we roll it out, we can use our cookie cutters to measure. And that looks like a good thickness. Now we can take our cookie cutters. And you're going to do a gingerbread man?
No, I want only to do gingerbread man.
Well, I'm going to do a polar bear. All right, so we just take our cookie cutters. Oh, we need a little bit of flour. So Nolan, right here's our little pile of flour. Now what you want to do is you want to take your cookie cutter and dip it in the flour. Okay, and just tap off the extra flour. Okay, just so there's a little bit on there. And then we press. And then we have an adorable little cookie. So you got to press it in there really hard. Do it near the edge bud so that we have room for lots of cookies. Okay? So that's what our little cookies will look like. And then we're going to just put these on our cookie sheets. Yep, we'll put these on our cookie sheet and we'll put them all in the oven.
Yeah.
And they go in for about 11 to 13 minutes at 350. Now when these cookies are done, you could definitely take a little bit of icing or frosting. You could decorate these. You can trace the lines.
I want that one out.
Okay, hold on. It's easy to just trace the lines and you can fill them in, color them in, and make them super adorable. So this is a really great way that your kids can get involved in the kitchen. They can make these nice little treats, and how cute would that be as a teacher gift, a little homemade treat for their teachers. He's going to keep working on cookies, and I'm going to show you, this isn't really a gifting recipe, but this is a really great apple crisp recipe that's quick and easy, and it'll be a perfect recipe for this holiday season when you just need that quick and easy dessert. Or really you could have it for breakfast too. It's a nice apple crisp.
Look at that, it comes right out.
It comes right out. Okay, you keep working on that. You get those cookies out and put them on the cookie sheet. So this apple crisp we are going to make in the brand new quick cooker. You guys have been seeing me use this a lot, and it's because it's amazing, and I've been using it a ton at home. So this apple crisp recipe, like I said, is so quick and easy. We're just going to take a few apples here, and we're going to wedge them up, and just right inside the stainless steel pot in here, we're going to wedge up our apples, take out the core, and we're just going to plop our apples right in. This one is really great if you use some green apples like Granny Smith, but really you can use any great cooking apple. Usually your harder apples are going to be the ones you want to use, nice crisp, like this Honey Crisp right here. I actually have a selection of a few different apples here. I think we've got some Honey Crisp, some Gala, some yellow Goldens, Golden Delicious. Got all sorts of apples here. We're just using up some apples that we had at home, and this will be a great recipe for that. So like I said, we're just kind of wedging these up real quick, and we're just going to throw them in. So after we get our apples in here, now I don't know if I've pointed this out to you guys before. Notice when I slice the apple, I don't turn it over and push these pieces through. Apple slicers are really sharp, and that's how you cut yourself. So you actually just push it down, and you pull the apple up. Nolan, do you want to show everybody your favorite trick? Nolan actually knows a little magic trick. So I like to slice up our apple and keep it all together. Fun tip for you, if you take apples to work and you like to have them sliced, you don't like to bite into the whole apple, if you wedge your apple and you just kind of pull it out and press it all back together, you can just throw this in a little Ziploc bag or put a rubber band around it, and your apple won't brown. It won't be exposed to the air, but then you can have your nice apple slices all ready to go. And Nolan's going to show you what he loves to do. A little trick here. Oh, did you just chop that apple with your hand? Look at that. Makes apples fun. He just chops it with his hand. Usually we get a 1, 2, 3 hi-ya. Today he just went for it. We always need a little bit of liquid for the cooking, so we just have a cup of water. All right. And we're going to add about 3/4 of a cup of brown sugar. Take our little keeper out. We have new little brown sugar keepers. So you just get those, you soak them in some water so they stay nice and moist. They're terracotta, so they hold on to the moisture. And then when you put them in with your brown sugar stays nice and soft. It doesn't clump at all. It's fantastic. All right, so our brown sugar, remember the brown sugar we want to press into our measuring cup, unlike our flour. All right, we're going to take our brown sugar and we're just plop this in right here like that. All right, we're going to add a little bit of cinnamon, about a teaspoon of cinnamon. We'll just sprinkle that in. And a little bit of nutmeg. Now this is optional, but I like nutmeg, so we're just going to put just a dash in there, just a little bit for flavor. Okay? And just a little tiny splash of vanilla, like half a teaspoon. All right, so put that in there. And we're going to just mix this all up. Give it a quick stir. We'll just give this a quick stir. And now we are going to set this, believe it or not, for 1 minute. So we're going to go for our custom setting here. And we're going to change the time, and we have to go all the way down for a minute because the custom setting default is 30 minutes. So we're going to go all the way down, 1 minute. All right. Make sure that our valve is closed, and we're going to press start. All right, so this is going to keep going. When it's done, we're going to turn on the sear setting, and we're going to add a little topping to it. So we'll get that ready in just a minute. But while this is going, I'm going to show you some quick recipes that we're going to throw in the oven.
Working on cookies.
Nolan's still working on cookies, but I'm going to show you some delicious treats we're going to throw in the oven and get ready for our gift boxes. All right, Nolan has his first batch of cookies ready to go. I just threw those in the oven. We've got a few more cookies we'll make in just a few minutes. But while we're throwing things in the oven, I'm going to show you a few mini treats in just a few minutes. All right, so check out this adorable pan. This is our little holiday treats pan. We've got snowmen and snowflakes, and this is perfect for little treats. You could do little brownies, little cakes, little muffins. I've done little cornbreads in here. We have an autumn one that you can get that has like pine cones and maple leaves, but this is going to be perfect for the holidays. And so I'm just doing some little pumpkin spice muffins in here. So I've just got our pumpkin spice muffin batter here. I'm just going to throw it in the pan. I'm going to throw it in the oven with the cookies. And I'll show you these when they pop out. I don't even need to grease the pan. They're going to pop right out of here. And we're going to take these out, and we can put a little bit of decoration on them if we want, or we can leave them. But I just wanted to show you how cute this pan is before I fill it up. So, all right, so we're just going to pour a little bit of batter into each of these wells. Just like cupcakes, about 2/3 full. All right, so I'm filling these a little full, but I just want to use up our batter here. And if we have some puffy muffins, it'll be okay. Oh, our quick cooker is done. Look at that. We'll check that out in just a minute.
Scared me.
All right, I'm just going to throw this in the oven, and then we'll check on our crisp. All right, we've got our little pumpkin spice muffins in the oven. Cookies are in the oven. Let's finish up our apple crisp. So what we're going to do here is we are just going to release our pressure, and we're going to turn this on to the sear setting and open it up. Now we're going to make a little crumbly topping with 1/4 of a cup of oats, old-fashioned, not quick oats. Okay, a little sprinkle of cinnamon, 1/4 of a cup of flour, 1/2 of a cup of brown sugar. I see. And we have 3 tablespoons of melted butter. So while the pressure's releasing,
Turn my gingerbread into a
we'll mix this up.
I'm turning my gingerbread into a snowman.
Okay. I'm telling you, these cookies, they're just entertaining him. This is great.
I picked it.
All right, so here's our topping.
Oh,
All right,
yeah.
so we can go ahead and open our quick cooker.
I did not use powder on this one. Can you help me use this powder?
All right, so 1 minute, guys. Check this out. They're all nice and cooked and ready. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn this to sear, and we're going to start.
Oh, look at that.
Okay. All right, add our little topping in here. And then we're just going to very gently kind of push it down into the liquid. And we're going to be mixing this up in a minute, so it'll be just fine. All right, so we're going to press this down into the liquid here. Okay? And for about a minute, we're just going to kind of let it bubble and thicken up a little bit. We've got that flour in there, so it's going to thicken up the juices from the water and the apples that are in there. And in just about a minute, I'm just going to stir it, let it sit another minute, and then we'll turn the heat off and it's done. So we let this sit for a minute, and we're just going to kind of stir it in, stir it up. We'll let it sit for another minute, and then, like I said, we're just going to turn the heat off, and then this can just sit. It'll be all ready to go. This is the quickest apple cobbler you will ever make. Absolutely love it. Now, of course, you can take some of the skins off the apples if you want, but I don't mind the skins, so I leave them on. All right, so we're going to give this just another minute to thicken up. And, you know, a special treat that you can make to go with this is some homemade whipped cream. Should we make some, Nolan? All right, let's make some homemade whipped cream.
I want some on mine, too.
I didn't actually bring any of the stuff over for homemade whipped cream, but I have it right here. Here's this, and a whipped cream maker, and powdered sugar, and vanilla. Okay. All right, now this is perfect. We can just make this in the last minute that our apple crisp is cooking because whipped cream only takes 30 seconds to make. So heavy whipping cream. We got our whipped cream maker. We just fill up to the line with our whipping cream. And we put in about a tablespoon or two of powdered sugar. So I'm just going to do a heaping tablespoon there. And just a dash of vanilla. Actually, you know what? We're going to do a dash of vanilla, and since it's going on the apple crisp, are you ready for this? A little bit of cinnamon. Put a little bit of cinnamon in our whipped cream today. We'll have cinnamon whipped cream. What do you think, Nolan? Sound good? All right. So put the top on, and 30 seconds. The way that you'll know that your whipped cream is done, it'll get harder to pump, of course, but if you watch very carefully at the bottom here, when I pull up, you'll start seeing some air bubbles. You see some of these air bubbles down here? And that's usually an indicator that your whipped cream is starting to really thicken. So I kind of watch for some of those. All right, you can see some of the streaks of air. So you pull the pump all the way to the top, and we'll unscrew, and we'll check it out.
Oh, can I have some?
Yeah, see? We're going to put some on the apple
want
crisp.
some.
We're going to put some on the apple crisp. Okay, you want a tiny little bit?
I want all of them.
No. Nope. Give me your finger, one finger. There, try that much. So there we go, homemade whipped cream. How is it with the cinnamon in there? Is it good?
I did not get the cinnamon.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. Now,
Can I get the cinnamon this time?
please, just be patient. Remember, the base here, our silicone base, so it doesn't slide around while we're pumping, also comes right off and turns into a lid. For your leftover whipped cream, you can put it right in the fridge. Okay? So we're going to have that lid there just hanging out so we don't get little fingers in there. And we're going to go ahead and turn the heat off over here.
Hi, God.
Our apple crisp is done, and it's just going to sit here and stay nice and warm. Look at that deliciousness. Good old, beautiful homemade apple crisp with fresh whipped cream. Perfect, perfect quick recipe for brunch or a recipe to take to share,
Which one has the most?
quick and easy. So let me show you some of these other little treats I made. Actually, first I'm going to make this little glaze here. So I've got just a little bit of butter and some milk, and just some powdered sugar, and I'm just mixing these together. Really simple glaze icing. And while I'm mixing this together, let me tell you, we made some of those. Remember those apple donuts we made last week? We've got some of those. And I'm just going to sprinkle some cinnamon sugar over them this morning. So those are all going to be ready to go. Remember last time we put them in the bag and shook them up with the sugar as well. So there's a couple different options of getting those all ready to go. I also have here just we have a little mini bundt cake pan. So just a little red velvet cake. They're adorable and they make a really nice, pretty little gift. So what I'm going to do with our little icing that I'm making right here is we're going to decorate it just a little bit, just so that it's all ready to give. All right, so we're just going to take the chocolate drizzler. We can just stand it up right here. And we're going to put some of our glaze right in there. And then Nolan is going to help decorate this little mini cake. Now, this glaze, like I said, it was just some milk, some butter, and some powdered sugar. You can definitely mix it up with a little bit of vanilla. You could do a little bit of cream cheese if you want a cream cheese frosting. Add a little bit of cocoa for chocolate, or a little bit of peanut butter, and you can really switch up your flavors. Okay.
Can I have it?
Yep, so you're going to just kind of push that down. I filled it really full. And we're going to go around. All right, I'll let you decorate that. You decorate that little cake.
Can you do it all for me?
Do it all for you?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you just go back and forth, drizzle all the way around. And as it's going to harden up a little bit with that butter in there. And as it does so, it's going to drizzle down, it's going to harden just a hair. And it's going to be absolutely adorable. Now, of course, you can top this off with some holiday sprinkles if you'd like, or you could do two different types.
Can I taste that?
You could do two different types of frosting. We could do some of this vanilla. We could add a little bit of cocoa powder and then add a little bit of chocolate on top just to mix it up. All right?
Can I try the cake?
I need you to stop talking. Can you please stop talking? The answer is no. Got it? Okay. All right. So here's our little mini loaf pan. We just took some banana bread mix and we just made little banana breads. And how adorable are these? All right, so we can give these as little gifts too. Again, you could put, if you made little pumpkin breads, you could put some cream cheese frosting on there. You could make a little bit of a glaze to put on your banana bread. You could put a little glaze and some chopped up nuts for banana nut bread. All sorts of little ideas there. Now, Pampered Chef did something really cool, and they came out with these little gift boxes. And they all come with little twine to wrap them up and little tags to tie on. But there's a couple different sizes. So we've got this one right here is going to fit our little mini loaf of bread. And it even comes with the little paper to put at the bottom so that it just looks all cute. All right, so all you have to do is you just put these boxes together. Just tuck the flaps in the sides like this. And we'll do the other side also. All right. And then the top just folds down. You've got your flap here to fold in. All right, so now you're all ready to go. Now, what's really cool about these boxes, especially if the kids are giving them as gifts, is that you can decorate them. You can color on them, you could put stickers on them, you could put different kinds of ribbons on them, but then they're all ready to go. So then you can just open these up and see your little treats fit perfectly inside. So you could put your little mini loaves of bread in there. You could line up a couple donuts or a couple cookies.
I want that.
Okay, just hold on, bud. All right. So we have a little rectangular box that's perfect for our mini loaves.
What are they?
We have a little square box, which is going to be perfect for little donuts or smaller cookies. And then there's a larger square box that is perfect for your little cakes or some larger cookies stacked up.
Can we put these on there?
Now, a little tip with your boxes. The reason I'm not putting my treats in the boxes right now is you really want to let them cool completely before you put them in. Otherwise, you can have buildup of condensation and they don't last as long. But once you put your treats in the boxes, they'll last somewhere between 2 and 7 days. So if you're making your treats ahead of time and you're not going to gift them within the next couple of days, just go ahead and put them in an airtight container at home and put them in their little boxes right before you give them as gifts. But especially this time of year when it's cold, it's really easy to have a couple of these ready. You can just keep them in your car, they'll stay nice and chilled, and then when you see someone you need to give a gift to, you're all ready to go. All right, let's check on our little muffins. I can't wait to show you these. I'm gonna go grab the pan and we're gonna pop some out. How adorable are these little muffins? Little snowmen, little snowflakes. Now what I love is, like, remember I did not grease this pan. Look at how they just popped right out. And what I think is amazing, Pampered Chef did a great job. You actually can see these little designs in the finished muffins. So how cute would these be? A couple of these in one of your little gift boxes. Perfect little holiday treats. And they will go so nicely with, look at Nolan's cookies. Look at these gingerbread cookies that came out. So of course, being the gingerbread cookies, you can just stack these up, throw them right in your gift boxes too. And what's really nice is because they have the designs already pressed into them, again, you don't really need to decorate them. You don't really need to put icing on them, which also means it'll be a lot easier to stack a few of them together, and you're not going to have to worry about your decorations getting all messed up because their faces will be just fine. There we go. My goodness, all sorts of fun designs here. All right, guys, let's check out our apple crisp. I've just got a little mug here. What a great way to serve it up. I'm going to dish some up for you guys here. Look at this. It'll stay nice and warm in the mug. How great does that look? And it thickened up so nicely just letting it rest for a bit. So here's our apple crisp. We're going to put a nice dollop of our homemade whipped cream right on top. And that is all ready to go. Can you just wait a minute, please? All right, so the apple crisp, perfect for a nice cool morning or cool evening. Like I said, it could be great breakfast edition, brunch, or dessert. So many different ways you can use that. And of course, all of these different great ideas for gifting. We've got mini donuts. We've got these adorable little cookies made with our holiday emoji cookie cutters. Remember, we've got little muffins in our holiday pan, little mini loaves of bread, and of course mini cakes that you can throw icing on. And all of these are going to make really great little handmade gifts for anybody that you see this holiday season. Again, a really great way to get the kids in the kitchen and putting together a little gift that they can give to, their teachers or some of their friends. And it's homemade, it's handmade, comes from the heart, and it's delicious and unique. So some really great ideas to get you started. These and many more ideas can be found on my website. So if you'd like to learn more about these recipes or all the cool products and pans that we use today, head on over to pamperedchef.com and you can search for me, Rachel Hanson, or your local Pampered Chef consultant. As always, I would like to thank Sunshine Supper for letting us use their kitchen. Come on out on a Monday night if you are in Sun Prairie, and come on out for a free dinner and hang out with the community.
Let's make it. Talk here.
Have a happy holiday season, everybody. We'll see you next time.